Pokemon Discord version. Book 1, Chapter 1.
Cinder and ash blanketed the town as it was met with complete and utter disarray. Men, women, children, and Pokemon perished violently while the raids commenced. All that could be heard were screams and explosions caused by battling Pokemon releasing their monstrous attacks upon this once peaceful town. The desperate cries and final screams of dying victims drifted throughout the heavily smoky, debris-filled air, along with the foul smell of burning flesh. Murdering, torturing, and defiling anything within their grasp, the village helplessly fell to their abrupt assault. Bands of rocket elites shattering the innocence of children while festering darkness fed on the blood and tears of anyone who would dare obstruct the agenda of Team Rocket.
Citizens of Sector 66, death will continue to stain your village until every member of the resistance group known as the Light submits to our will.
Team Rocket broadcasted.
Do not needlessly waste your life for the likes of them. Bring us their heads and their hearts,
They exclaimed loudly, their voices booming throughout the village. Prince Adonis Nova, the horrendously powerful son of King Zalus and grandson to Eldridge the Liberator. Only 19 years old, he was the heir to the supreme throne, next in line to rule the kingdom of tyrants. With the Phantom Blade Doublade in his hands and his chosen partner Ninjask by his side, Adonis was unstoppable. Recognized as the fastest being alive, he and his partners have breached speeds matching up to Mach 5 or beyond in combat. Basically mastering teleportation a few years later, he was only 10 years of age when he evolved his Honedge into Doublade. Shockingly enough, this was only 3 years after receiving the Phantom Blade from his father. Usually to evolve the blade, you must deliberately train with it for at least 10 years or more. Zalus made sure to pass on and instill onto his son every dark motive and intention he had ever carried. As the onslaught continued, the people of Hallowtown and members of the Light banded together to attempt to push back the opposing force who threatened their home and loved ones. Raging calamity claimed many lives on all sides of the battlefield. The sounds of tortured victims could be heard throughout the carnage, the screams of pain and wrenching agony like nails to a chalkboard.
Everyone, hold your ground. Do not let them advance,
Yelled one of the Hallowtown citizens. The village was now engaged in full-scale war. The clanging of steel and bolts of rending energy barreling throughout, along with the clash of bone and sinew. Warriors and their Pokemon fought until death did them part. So many casualties, only for the extermination of one group that the citizens would refuse to willingly hand over to the Bastard Squad Team Rocket. After all, these people they were fighting for were not ordinary people. They were heroes who have protected and saved the lives of many others before today.
Desmond, we don't have much time left.
Ava says to her husband cradling her newborn baby. Desmond Monarch and his wife, Ava, are both co-founders and leaders of the Light. True heroes known throughout Agoria as Father Time and Mother Gaia. They earn these titles candidly. Desmond's companion Salamence being so swift and in sync with its master made it seem like time itself stood still to their opponents. They called Ava Mother Gaia because her loyal companion Venusaur's masterful abilities to restore itself and its allies with an almost infinite vitality from surrounding nature energies. Needless to say, it almost seemed as if the Venusaur by her side had an unlimited reserve of health and stamina, making Desmond and Ava the perfect fighting pair. Unfortunately, they were the main ones that Team Rocket were looking to execute. As they hid to try and preserve the fresh-faced new life that they had just earlier today given birth to, they feared that the end drew closer. Ava. Desmond wrapped his arms around his family. He looked at his wife and said, "Despite giving birth only hours ago to our son, you look just as beautiful as the day we met." Tears flooded her eyes as she clutched their son tighter. "This might be the only time we get to share words with you, my son. And for all it's worth, your mother and I want you to know how terribly sorry we are for bringing you into the world under such turmoil." Tears fell as heavy as pouring rain from Desmond's eyes. though his smile was as bright as sunshine in what he knew for sure were their final moments together as a family. The wooden cottage shook as dust fell from the ceiling.
We love you, Aiden.
Ava kissed her sleeping baby on his forehead. The walls of the cottage suddenly shattered apart with a heavy hyperbeam that followed through to the other end, which completely exposed the family.
Go, Salamence! Use Protect!
Desmond summoned his dragonic companion to protect his family from the oncoming attacks. Desmond then leaped onto the back of his Salamence and quickly returned fire.
Dragon! Pulse!
Desmond yelled to his Salamence as the massive dragon shot a beam of powerful energies that successfully vaporized 2 of the Rocket members and their Pokemon partners.
Noivern! Hypno! Galvantula! Join me, my friends!
Desmond shouted from the back of Salamence as he summoned his partners to aid him in this battle. 3 more Rocket Alpha Squad members faced Desmond as Ava and baby Aiden took cover in what was left of the destroyed cottage.
This is not over! Sync with me, my friends! We will not allow you to terrorize this place any longer! Yeah!
Desmond said aloud as he and his partners initiated synchronization. Hypno rode behind Desmond on the back of Salamence with its hand on his shoulder in order to maintain Desmond's psychic link abilities. This would allow Desmond and his partners to see through each other's eyes and telepathically communicate with each other. The psychic synchronization abilities were taught to Desmond by Eldritch himself. Therefore, mastering them would certainly give the user an edge on any opponent during battle.
I will always protect those who are precious to me. I will utilize every ounce of my being. I'll fight for my loved ones with every fiber of my essence. You will taste the unrelenting fires of our very spirit. We will not allow you to advance anymore. This is the end of the line. Salamence, Noivern, release them from this world. Draco, Meteor!
Desmond preached heroically with words that echoed across the entire battlefield. Noivern and Salamence then went on to unleash a fused mass of energy cloak destruction that rained boulders from the sky upon the rocket enemies.
Psychic attack, Hypno!
Desmond added as Hypno nodded in agreement and let out a mesmerizing beam of psychic energies that connected vitally with the rocket enemies. As the Draco meteor shower devastated the 3 enemies, they realized that their Pokemon partners were now dead and mutilated from trying to desperately protect their masters.
Now, Galvantula, Electro Web!
Desmond says as his Galvantula spins a massive web in seconds and launches it towards another unsuspecting Alpha Squad member who rode on the back of his Tyranitar. Galvantula successfully tied the rocket member to his Tyranitar as fast as lightning, using its painful, high-voltage webbing.
Yeah! What the f***?
The Alpha Squad member yelled out in desperation. In the nearby distance, 2 more Rocket members noticed their fallen comrades and quickly made their way over to Desmond and his team, attempting to shut down his heavy assault.
Blastoise, Hydro Pump.
Yelled one of the Rocket members as his Blastoise took aim with its massive cannons and launched 2 tank shell shots of water that would do enormous damage to Desmond if they made contact.
Protect, Salamence!
Desmond said as Salamence effortlessly blocked the Hydro Pump attack and took 0 damage.
Ludicolo, maximize Blastoise's next shot. Rain Dance.
Yelled the other Rocket member as her Ludicolo then caused the dense, heavy rainstorm that fell from the blackened sky above.
That was the wrong move, you fool! Now, Galvantula, finish them all off with Maximum Thunder!
Desmond yelled as his Galvantula conjured an unavoidable mass of crooked thunderbolts that crackled throughout the dark, swirling clouds. Using the rain dance tactic with a powerful water-type partner is a fine strategy indeed. However, you 2 amateurs seem to have forgotten the fundamentals of your own tactics. Water-type attacks are not the only attacks that become enhanced by rainy weather. Desmond preached to the Rocket members as they stood stationary looking up at the sparkling voltage in the skies above them.
However foolish you 2 may be, I can always appreciate the utilization of teamwork. Unfortunately for you, War has been waged, and innocent blood has stained the harmony that existed within this town only hours ago. Desmond said with dissatisfaction to the Rocket members as he raised his right hand up towards the sparkling sky that was now littered with dangerously high voltage. The two Rocket members then looked at each other for the last time and embraced each other tightly. The Rocket member from earlier, who was wrapped up to his Tyranitar with the electrical webbing, continued to painfully spark and crackle. The storm raged on as they were now covered in rainwater and electric currents, fading in and out of consciousness and unable to make a sound. The actions and events leading up to your deaths will be stained to your spirits for the rest of eternity. May Arceus have pity on your wretched souls. Desmond said proudly as he signaled for Calvantula to commence the maximum thunder on the three Rocket members before him.